plan is, kill the brain, and you kill the ghoul.
For us, that's all. There's no more room in hell.
Dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls.
Zombies, they creep me out.
First goddamn week of winter.
Tried to destroy him, but I fucked up.
I gave him life.
Groovy.
Welcome to Voices of the Dead podcast, the extension of the Undead reviews. I am Katrina, here with
Trace Clancy.
And today we are talking about Alien. 1979 Alien. I recently got...
It's the year of my first car.
It is the year of his first car. I got him into sci-fi horror, which was a hard thing to do because it was hard.
How so?
You're a tricky bitch when it comes to...
If it doesn't have horror written on it at first glance, yeah, I probably won't look at it.
But, so we're talking about Aliens. So, first off, I want to ask you, did you like it?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
So much so that you watched the second one.
Yeah, so my first experience with the Alien franchise, unfortunately, was Alien vs. Predator that my friend dragged me along to see, and I thought it was cheesy.
Yeah.
I think all the Clash Up versus crossover movies are just kind of corny. I didn't really like Freddy vs. Jason. I could take it or leave it. So.
But you liked this one. You liked the original.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I feel like it's a movie that manages to be really serious and good. It's not cheesy, and it's scary. And usually things that are scary to me are things that could actually happen, which obviously I won't be alive when we're able to space travel like this. It's still scary, even though it's a movie that will unlikely happen, hopefully. Hopefully our planet doesn't get taken over.
But it's plausible. It's a plausible...
It's got good scares and it's got good special effects.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. So what was your favorite part about it? Like, what was your most... I guess what made you like it?
Dude, definitely the cat.
I remember seeing a meme about that where it was like the whole movie is just about a woman and her cat are the only, like, them being the only survivors.
Dude, solid. Like,
I'd hella go out of my way to save my cat.
I thought the alien was gonna eat the cat.
No.
It was like all close up on the box and like just chilling.
I think this is a theory. I don't know how true this is, but I think the alien will only kill things if it perceives it to be a threat. If it thinks that it's going to be threatening, then it will kill it, because it doesn't kill the cat and it doesn't care to kill the robot Ash, because Ash is the only one that was trying to actually protect it. So maybe that's why it didn't go after him. But he was also with people all the time.
In the second one, it did try to take out the other robot. I can't remember. Bishop.
Yeah, but he might have been a threat.
Yeah.
He was a threat.
Yeah, he got split in half.
Because the other one, Ash, was trying to protect the alien.
Yeah.
So speaking of Ash, I did just read that he was not supposed to be in the movie. So how do you feel about that? The robot, the android being in the movie? Because one of the writers, Brennan, did not like the fact that the robot was in it. But I feel like the robot kind of... covers plot holes that might be there, like remember how Ridley was like or Ripley, goddamn, Ripley was like, no, don't come on the ship, we have safety protocols, and he let them in anyway. So this kind of like, it allows those mistakes, those movie cliches to happen, but for a reason.
Yeah, no, I think it fills in a lot of blanks, and I think it's a good plot twist too. Yeah,
because you're like, oh shit, like they didn't care. My only thing is like, why would they send off a cargo crew to go look at these aliens? That's what I was confused about. Like, why would they do that? Maybe just because they were on the pathway. Maybe I missed something in the movie, but I don't know why they sent the crew out.
Maybe it's easier and cheaper to expend crew like that than it is to lose an entire military.
I guess it's true, because I mean, the aliens do find ways to kill a whole military crew pretty easily.
Yeah,
in the second one.
They wipe out that entire crew.
Yeah,
they kill it. They kill it the same way. They push it out of the airlock. They're just like, peace.
I feel like that's the best way to do it, really, because besides. So in the first one, you don't really know what can kill it because they do try to use fire on it. But nobody actually uses fire on it in the first movie, so you don't really know if that will kill it. So the only way that she was able to get rid of it was by kicking it out into space.
Yeah, in the second one, you see that you can shoot it, but it still has that acidic blood.
That's true. So it does have a defense still. So when it got kicked out of the thing, because I think we were talking about this. When she kicks the alien out into orbit, basically, it doesn't freeze over, and it seems like it's still able to breathe and maneuver in space. So, the question is it really dead when you kick it out into orbit?
I'm guessing it probably, based off of what it is still alive.
You think so? Because I don't know if they need to eat. That doesn't really show, at least in the first one or the second one, it doesn't really show that they require nutrients. They just breed. And that's kind of it.
That's disgusting. that is an infestation. That is just terrible. I guess, though, if it doesn't have a life form to inject itself in, I guess it wouldn't live.
Well, yeah, because it kind of like uses the human body or just probably anything that would have crossed its path as a way to incubate itself.
I wonder if the alien would actually live in space for a while without having food.
I'm curious. It's got like acid blood. It's strange. So it's, obviously we're poking holes or trying to poke holes in a sci-fi movie, but I do know that because of the fact that I just read here is without Star Wars, we wouldn't have had Alien, or at least not the Alien that we know.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. You were saying that because Star Wars came out, studios were flocking to sci-fi like flies on shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like once like a big movie comes out, especially something like Star Wars or like a big zombie movie, it seems like Hollywood kind of follows suit. Like, oh, shoot, that one made a lot of money, so let's go make a bunch of these too. And so because of Star Wars, Alien got picked up after them jumping around from production to production trying to find like somebody to actually like make this movie happen. And because of Star Wars, they're like, oh hell yeah, let's get this going, let's make this into a legit movie.
I wonder if it had come out before Star Wars, if it would have looked the way it does now.
Probably not, because they were saying that it did get picked up for a minor amount of time by a B movie studio.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. We love a lot of B movies, but I don't think it would have been the production that it is, right, that we know it as. But I do know one thing that I truly, really love about the Alien movie is the cinematography and the way that it looks in terms of like the lighting and the way that the camera hits. And I don't know, it's like you can pretty much take a good, like a lot of those scenes and it would be a really cool background or wallpaper. Like it's kind of like Blade Runner-esque. Like there's so many pretty things happening, but I guess in Alien it's a little bit more simplistic, but I like the way that Alien looks and a lot of their shots and how it's very dark contrast with like bright like lights and sci-fi, because sci-fi now to me is also bright and lens flare and bright and more lens flare.
I think the last good sci-fi space-based horror movie I saw was I think it was called Life. It had I want to say Ryan Reynolds in it and Jake Gyllenhaal, and it was very Alien thing reminiscent.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in, I feel like for what was forever, waiting for this movie to like actually reach a good climax, and it kind of just
fizzled.
Yeah, and it ends the way you think it would end, which isn't a bad thing, but there's no like solid conclusion. There wasn't room for a sequel.
I hate it when you're watching a movie and you're waiting for the climax, but there kind of isn't one.
You want to hear a real horror movie, guys? Comet Kids.
No.
Yeah, that's a horror movie in itself.
No.
The writing is horrific.
That's exactly it, though.
It's just a straight, flat movie all the way through.
It's so sad, though. But we're not talking about that tragedy.
No, that's a joke. But if you want to numb your brain,
that was actually hard to watch. Usually, we can watch some pretty goofy, cheesy, silly B movies that are like obviously amateur, but
does Killer Clowns from Outer Space count as sci-fi horror?
yes, I think so. They're aliens. Technically, they just look like clowns.
I think my favorite part back on the subject of aliens is when she's trying to go back and stop the ship from blowing up.
Dude,
and that gives me the panic attack because I'm like, dude, you're not gonna make it.
Well, that's you're like, shit, and then when the alien's magically gone, and you're like,
too good to be true.
No. But no, the whole time, so I know at the end of this movie she saves the cat, but like the whole time, and I'm thinking, don't forget the cat. Don't fucking forget the cat. Don't forget the cat. But what made me giggle when, especially near the end, that cat, I know it's probably not really in the crate, but let's pretend that it is. That cat gets banged around and thrown around so fucking much.
Oh yeah, when she's running up and down the hall.
And then she kicks it into the, what do you call it, the little getaway shuttle.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
In real life, a cat would be pissed. I mean, I guess it did kind of hiss at her at the end when she was putting it into the little freezy bit, but shit's funny. But so good movie though. I really did enjoy it. And I feel like it was cool to see somebody like Ripley who was doing everything correct. She followed all the protocols. She was like, we have to quarantine these people. She was actually intelligent about every single move that she made, which is probably why she made it to the end. So you weren't feeling frustrated with the main character. Like, why are you doing this? In fact, it was other people's doing.
I was mostly frustrated with the fucking crew.
It was mostly Ash. Ash was the one that was like, yeah, let's let him in. Let's test on this thing. While everybody else was like, let's fucking burn it and go home. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? So that's where I feel like the android may not have been necessary, and I'm curious to see what the original script would have been like. But I feel like without the android, it would be a little bit more difficult to get the alien on the spaceship, or otherwise Ripley, who was very intelligent and was following protocol, it would have been a little bit tougher. But I don't know. I guess you could have had Ash just be a regular dumbass that wasn't an android. But I feel like giving him you have to get the alien back to Earth kind of thing gave him a little bit more of a plot device, a little bit more of a meaning to his actions, not just being dumb.
It also sets up a lot of plot with him in there for the second movie for her fearing the other robot.
That's true. She doesn't like the other robot.
Should we just talk about this and do Alien Part 1 and then Part 2?
I know, you keep dipping into Part 2.
I feel like we should, since they're pretty, it feels like Halloween 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It feels like a solid film all the way through.
Where it bleeds in together. The one thing that I feel like Alien 2 or Aliens is lacking though is that cinematography and that
it's about, I want to say it's 84, 86. It's years later. It's a while later, but there's more special effects and you get to see more of the alien, which I do like.
It's true.
You get to see his
the mom,
the jaw,
the mama alien, the breed, and then what also I mean, I don't like how open it is. I feel like it's too spacey, like too. Okay, that sounds silly, but too open. I don't know. I feel like what made the first one so scary was the tight quarters. Even though it was a big spaceship,
you didn't really get to see the whole ship either.
Yeah, you still felt like there's no getting away right now. It's in the ship. You gotta find it.
I thought it was odd that there was so little people on that big ass ship, and I wanted to see more of the ship. That was my only problem with the first one.
That's true.
Is that I wanted to see more of the ship.
Because it was a rather small crew for such a huge cargo ship. But I guess, it only takes one man to drive a semi-truck.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
I guess maybe in this future. What was it? It's 2022, right?
I want to say it's 2122.
Oh shit! So it's even further in the future.
Yeah, and then the second one is set up in 2386.
So what did you think about the alien design, though? Do you think that was pretty spooky, the way that it blends in with the ship and how it kind of like, it's like alienist, it's like a it's very animalistic. Like it's not, but it's not stupid either. Like it knows what it wants, but it acts more like that of a instinct. It kind of acts more on that than it does anything else.
Reminds me of insect, a giant insect.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a praying mantis. It's like very clever, very sneaky, but it can't outsmart a human being.
It's true. It doesn't have like the full spectrum. Maybe it can learn, I feel like, because technically Alien in the first one, it's a baby still. Technically, like it was only like a few hours old in that movie, and it just sheds and grows quickly. I feel like it's technically supposed to be like a baby. It's not even fully grown yet, even though it's like 7 feet tall, dude. So
I feel like it's very uncomfortable to look at, and it's got this unique, gross, gooey, slimy looking feel to it.
Dude, I like the water and how it like pours down like in its like second mouth. Like, you know how like when it opens up its mouth and then its little tongue face thing pops out and it's just like water dripping from its fangs.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable to look at.
So I was thinking, because you know that scene where before the first guy dies and he like puts his head up and he in the sewer area where all the water and the chains are, and he's kind of like taking in the water splashing on his face.
Yeah.
What if some of that is alien drool?
Yeah.
just dripping down on his face because he like drank some of it too.
I don't know. That's disgusting. I never thought about that.
I don't know why, but that was like my first thought when I saw like the water. It's a really cool effect though, seeing the water like drip from its fangs in its mouth.
What is that in the ship that's so wet? Like, is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, that's true. What? I don't know. I think it was something. I feel like they said it, and I just can't remember. But it was supposed to be something like connected to like the vents that they talked about.
I would not want that on my face.
No.
If it's not a natural, that water's got to be dirty.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
If it's like coming off of like parts of the ship, I'm like, that's kind of gross.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not like a waterfall. It's not fresh water. So I'm curious where it's coming from and what it's supposed to be.
Taking a shower in it.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. Looking for a cat. Let me stop and embrace the water flow in the ship.
That being said, when he's searching for the aliens, I think that's some of the coolest shots of the ship that you see
for sure.
throughout that whole movie.
I actually really like those scenes because that's when you kind of get the feel. It's basically like, I don't know. It's so like the ship feels so eerie, but it's your classic like sci-fi movie looking ship, which I love. It's like Blade Runner, even Star Wars ships. I really do like. I like the way those ships look. Some of them, and it's got that eerie like I don't know, random buttons that probably don't do anything look, and like the vents and how they are shaped and designed. It's just so cool. And the shots in that scene when they're trying to find the little baby just, hatched from the human suit that it came out of.
Ugh. That was hard to watch.
Dude, that was kind of sad though, because he's like, yeah, I'm feeling fine, and he goes and eats breakfast, and then all of a sudden a fucking baby alien pops out of your chest. Dude, that scene was pretty tragic, actually.
The way that thing hauls ass out of the room, though, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
As it squeals away.
Someone step on that.
to that thing. What is scary was how quickly that thing molted into that big ass motherfucker. Like, it went from this tiny little thing within like probably a few hours, if that. Because they were like for a long time looking for the little tiny baby crawling around on the floor, so they were trying to hunt it down.
Oh yeah, that thing was shedding skin and
gross,
growing, becoming a big boy. Another of my favorite parts is when it's she's on the escape ship and it's all hiding with the pipes and the wires, and you just kind of slowly see it.
If you really focus, yeah, you can see it pretty early on, and I think that's what makes it so scary, because it's like it's there. And what's scary about that scene is, once again, she was very smart about it. She was calm, and she thought of a plan super quick, but it was like, I don't know, it gives you the heebie-jeebies to think of how well it blends in with the ship and the pipes and the lines. Like it just fits in perfectly with the design of these ships. You almost have to get like perfectly white-walled ships for this thing to not blend in anymore.
Now I want to know if it knew that was this escape pod, or if it was because it was so quiet in the escape pod that it went over there. And
Maybe.
It was like, I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah, because it did kind of seem like it was taking a nap, like it was sleeping.
I'm like, do xenomorphs sleep?
It's kind of like after a kitten plays for a really long time and then just randomly crashes.
Yeah, that's a big kitten. That's a nasty kitten.
So I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it just went to go take a nap, because it does look like it's just kind of
it looks
sleeping.
like it's just chilling, and I'm like,
So maybe it was, or maybe it did kind of know that was the direction she was trying to go in. So it was like, maybe I'll just saunter over here.
I think it's either that or it was so quiet because everything else is going off.
He's like, I need a nap now. I'm going to go take a nap.
And he's looking for a place to go to sleep. And he's like, it's all quiet over here. It's all nice and dark and
I was
spooky.
So relieved when she got the cat put away. I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay, the cat's fine. I love the fact that she, like, I just truly love the fact that she went back to go find that damn cat.
Jones.
Jones.
He's in the second one. I don't know if it's the same acting cat.
Probably. Maybe. Potentially.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, that cat was an old man in the first movies. You can tell by its eyes and its body. It was definitely an older cat. It wasn't young and spry like ours.
How did you learn all that?
What do you mean?
That it was an older cat. How would you?
You can just tell by the face, kind of like how you can tell when a dog is older. It kind of has like that rough, and their face sags a little bit more. Gravity's taking toll on them. You can kind of see it. Like, you can see it in the eyes of Jones. It's not a baby kitten, kind of like Knox. Like, Knox is only 2.
Yeah.
Versus, this cat is definitely probably like 10 years old, if not maybe a little older. It's mature. You can see it in the eyes mostly.
So another thing I like about the Alien movie is there's not a lot of weapons. And the ones that aren't like laser beams.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes the first one so scary, is the lack of weapons. These guys are just cargo people. Like, they don't really need weapons on their ship unless absolutely necessary. So they're kind of like vulnerable in a way. They have the flamethrower, but that's pretty much all they really got. Maybe some pistols, but doesn't do much to the alien.
It's almost like they sent a defensive crew against the giant demon.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much exactly like the government's like, all right, let's just send these guys in to get a test and feel on.
No, I haven't seen the rest of the aliens. Did they know that what they were dealing with?
Yeah,
that they were
so
xenomorphs?
in
Did
the
they
first,
know that, or did they were just like, oh, there's aliens?
In the first one, I believe all they knew that there was life form there. So they were basically sending them out to try and bring it back. I don't know if they knew what they were, if they knew they were xenomorphs. I think they just got like, oh, there's life form on this planet kind of reading. So you have to go look at it. Priority is get that life form back to Earth so we can do studies on it.
I'm going to have to look more into this. And apparently, according to what I've been reading, the Alien universe is part of the Blade Runner universe. Now I'm gonna have to talk to Ridley Scott about this because I'm so intrigued. Does that make Ash a replicant?
Maybe.
I'm so lost.
That's true. Is he one of them? You know what, though? The goopy goop that comes out of him is kind of similar to the Blade Runner goopy goop.
It reminds me of the Goopy Goop from Halloween 3.
That
but it's
too.
been a long time since I've sat through all the Blade Runner.
Well, I'll make you watch it again. I love that movie. But yeah, the goop, the little slime. I mean, in this one, it's a little bit more milky. It looks like milk. And I think it is.
70, 79.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they are connected, I guess it could make sense. There's plausible reason. I mean, there's ways that it could be true. It's funny though, because like this happens with every like genre of movie out there. Is like most people try to find ways to connect horror with everything. Like everything somehow revolves around Evil Dead, while like, you know, here in sci-fi everybody's like, well, Alien and Blade Runner and there was another one, they're all connected. Star Wars, I think.
I guess I don't know about Star Wars. I guess they made it so that AVP wasn't connected, that Predators weren't connected to the Alien universe anymore with Prometheus. That's what I was reading a while back.
Isn't that what you like, though? You don't want Predator connected.
I thought that was goofy. I think the first, like, 2 Predator movies are really good, and that's it. That's just it for me.
Yeah.
I didn't really follow the genre. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. Like, the first one was good. And then the second one was still pretty good. And then all these other ones. The only reason I even know about Predators because, like I said, I went to go see AVP in theaters, and I was like, "This is corny."
I feel like that's how most of at least our generation kind of figured out Alien and Predator. Like I feel like I knew about Predator and Alien before I knew about Alien and just Predator. So, but to be frank, I really like Alien more. I think there's more. I don't know. It's scary. I don't feel like the second one's very scary, but the first one definitely kind of gives you that feeling of, oh my God. And then the one thing that I really do like is that the Alien game, Alien Isolation.
I have not played this.
That one brings back that fear and horror.
The one that the Game Grumps are playing?
The Game Grumps did play it, but yeah, that's the exact game. I have it, and you're a little bit more defenseless in this one, just like the movie. And apparently, in the game, you are basically Ripley's kid. You're her daughter, but like way in the future.
Make you Newt?
No. You're like her actual daughter, because her last name is Ripley.
Oh.
So you're Ripley's kid, and you're trying to find Ripley. You're trying to find your mom, basically, figure out what happened to her, because apparently she vanished. So I don't know exactly where in the timeline this one fits in. I'm going to assume that maybe it connects after the first one and then jumps to this one. But the game itself adds like that scariness of Alien, because it's just the one alien again.
Is it?
And I think, God, it's been a minute since I played it, but basically you're running away from one alien. You're not as armed to the teeth as like some of the other movies, so it's a little bit back to being like a little more defenseless. You're trying to fend for yourself, and it's pretty spooky. I actually want to play it again soon, but it's pretty spooky. But it's got story to it too. So you're not just running around playing this scary game. Like there's story, and it connects to the movie, and you can kind of like see these parallels, and it's pretty interesting actually, and it's really well done.
We'll have to do a stream of this somehow.
We can. It's a one-person game, but if you like the movie, I think you should definitely play the game. It's pretty scary, actually. The game, I feel like, brings back the horror.
Didn't that come out for like Xbox or Xbox 360?
It came
this is
out
a long time ago.
I think
they've probably remastered it, but you never know.
No, well, yeah, it came out for 360, I believe.
Yeah, that's
and PS3, I think, because Let's see. Yeah, because I got the game right around when I first built my computer for the first time. So like 2013, 14, I think is around that time. And I think that's 360 and PS3 still.
Yeah, PS3.
Yeah, PS3. So it was definitely before all of that, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's been out for a while, but it's still really good, especially if you play on PC, which is where I have it, where the graphics are a little bit more improved. It's pretty spooky still.
You don't have to tell me. I've been playing things from like 360 and back for a long time.
Yeah.
So one other thing you were saying is that originally Ripley was supposed to be a guy.
Yes. It was supposed to be a dude. So when they wrote the script originally, I guess they kind of just wrote it pretty blankly, apparently, or that was the intent, was to just write a unisex crew, and it was pretty open. However, Ripley was supposed to be a dude, but the producers were the ones that decided to change it. I think it was basically for like appeal reasons, like they wanted to appeal, and a lot of female like survivors were becoming a thing at the time, you know, like Halloween, stuff like that. Yeah. So I think that's the whole point, was they were like, well, this is in right now, this will make us money, so let's do this. Which, sure, I don't really care for the idea, the money making aspect that they had behind it, but I do appreciate the fact that Ripley is a girl, and especially with what's her name playing Ripley.
Sigourney Weaver.
Dude, I love actress. Her. In fact, I was thinking about it when we were watching Alien 2 just now. I was like, man, I think I need to draw Ripley holding her cat, because I think about her often. Yeah.
What about Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Are you the gatekeeper?
But I feel like she's way cooler in Alien.
Oh, I like her in all her roles.
I think she does so many good roles, but I feel like one of my favorites is Alien, because she looks so badass. And she's the only one in like that whole movie that is like playing the role really smart. Like she's like trying to be intelligent about all of this mess. It's just everybody else decides to ignore her.
Yeah, if it was me, none of you would be on my ship. I'd be like, you guys can play with the weird stuff outside, just not coming home with me.
Like, yeah, you can go in that room and lock the door and hang out with the alien, but but me personally, no, you can quarantine yourself and stay away from me. Man, if I ever heard, what was his name? Which one? One of the characters. He was one of the last 3 that survived. But he was so cool because he was the only one. Remember at the very beginning where he's like, "We're cargo people. We're not the army." So I say we ignore the fucking the call to go to the what do you call it? To go to the planet.
So it turns out that it's not even. It's a warning. Like it's a distress.
Yeah, it wasn't an SOS. It was like stay away. And they still went. But he was Parker.
His name is Parker.
Yes, he was the smart one, because he too, at the beginning, was like, we're only cargo people. We aren't army men, and we're not going to, I'm not going on that planet.
Parker is played by, I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Yaphet Kotto? I could be wrong.
Yaphet Kotto. He looks cool, though. That's definitely him.
And then
that's an old picture.
My boy that's in quite a few movies, actually, that I like. But my favorite is Escape from New York, is Harry Dean Stanton.
Oh, he plays the guy that helps Kurt Russell get out, right?
Yeah, he's Brain.
Yeah.
He's Brain in Escape from New York. He's also in, apparently, Pretty in Pink in Repo Man.
That's crazy. Wasn't
Oh, he's in Christine, and I'm trying to remember. Right, he's the detective in Christine. He's always asking Arnie about his car.
That's good. Yeah. Holy shit, he's in a lot more stuff than I thought.
I was like, I know I've seen this guy in a couple of Carpenter movies, so just got to remember which one they are.
Gosh, yeah, I don't realize how many like good actors are really in this. But yeah, Parker was another smart character, which is why I think he was able to survive until the end.
This is definitely, I would consider Alien a horror movie.
Oh, for sure.
It is sci-fi. It's definitely horror. The ones that I saw prior to these ones is, like I said, AVP, and that felt like an action cheeseball movie.
Yeah.
Like a fight 'em up bad guy kind of movie.
Yeah.
So that's great. Like, I have a whole different view now.
Oh man, I should have made you watch Alien first for like a long time ago because it's so. I'm a sucker. I love sci-fi horror because I feel like it's. I don't know. There's more possibility for creepy, crazy things to happen. I love sci-fi in general, which is why Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies.
You like the Terminator?
I do.
I do think the first two are pretty sci-fi horror action-y.
I think the first one's more horror, really, because that one's like there's something about just a giant Arnold Schwarzenegger hunting you down for straight.
I'll be back.
Drives car into police station.
Give me your clothes.
That shit was good though. It was like
the last kid. He's like, okay, man, pulls all his clothes off.
I feel like that was comedic simply because, like, you know, we know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is, and that's like what we put into that. But like, I feel like when it originally came out, it's like, oh wow, this is scary. But like,
not watching it now, it's like it's got some super tense, scary moments. But like watching it now, there's a lot of things in there that are like so overdone by pop culture that it's just cheesy. It's kind of laughable. It's a lot of the Arnold lines.
I'll be
pretty much anything Arnold says with a straight face. Like, what is it? Jingle All the Way. Put the cookie down.
That's what I mean.
Get to the chopper.
He became such a meme. So like when you see him in a, it really is kind of a serious role. Like it's a serious movie. It's sad.
Isn't he like the governor of California now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He's been for a very long time. Very long time. But yeah, I don't know. He's been such a meme. It's like oh shoot, this is kind of goofy, but I'm sure at the time it was pretty scary. In fact, it got more scary when he was like just like the Terminator skeleton, like the
oh god, the exoskeleton or whatever is so
that got scary. But we're off topic. We're going off other
we'll
sci-fi.
have to talk about a Terminator one sometime because I really want to watch all of those with you. I just watched Dark Fate and that was like really really solid.
Really.
But I don't know. What should we? I don't know.
Oh, I was right.
What?
Ash is made out of milk.
Is he really? Yeah. I figured. Talk about
milk,
lactose
caviar,
intolerant.
pasta, and marbles.
Ugh.
What a nasty combo. Imagine, how do we make a cyborg? Oh, I know.
Well,
let's throw a bunch of food things together. Ugh, milk and pasta. Why couldn't they made it look like the Reanimator kind of goo or something? Like why does that have to be?
The glowing jelly.
Yeah, like
that's technically sci-fi horror.
Why has it got to be milk?
No,
I knew it was milk because of how it came out of his mouth when he started talking when his head was cut off.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how it is for the second one too. For Bishop,
maybe was it? He was kind of
milky.
Milky. I wonder if they did it the same. God, but gross milk out of.
But
I knew it looked funny. It looked so goofy.
I guess another sci-fi movie we could is The Thing. That's pretty sci-fi.
It's another one. I love The Thing. That one's scary too.
Would you consider Reanimator sci-fi, or is that just blood and guts horror? It has
yes
aspects.
and no, because Reanimator, in terms of sci-fi,
it's very zombie.
Yeah, it's more zombie. It's more. I mean, it's Frankenstein. It's modern day Frankenstein. So, and his monsters are the things that he brings back. So I don't know, whatever Frankenstein would be, which is, I think Frankenstein's considered like a monster movie. So I'd say it's more monster creature of the night kind of thing, because that's kind of what zombies are considered.
Yeah,
they're not really like sci-fi. I mean, I guess there's
scientist.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's aspects of it, but I think it's more not sci-fi, more. Yeah, like mad scientist, Frankenstein, creature feature kind of thing.
Piranha's sci-fi. If you think about it,
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Joe Dante.
No.
He's like, I got it. We'll do artificial, illy enhanced fish. They're piranha. They can swim in rivers and oceans.
Oh my God, no. I'll only watch that movie once in a blue moon during the summer. That is it.
Yeah, that movie's pretty
I have
cheesy.
to be in the mood. Oh my God.
That's a bad one.
But all right. So overall, you liked Alien. You loved it. And
Yeah.
you thought it was a good ending. You thought it wrapped up well. You thought the climax was good. Did you kind of like this hour build up to seeing like actual alien killing?
Yeah, I did.
Some people don't like the slow burn. Like some people want straight up action killing right now.
So my problem with the second one is it's a slow burn too.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should have gone the route that Jaws 2 did, where they should have showed more alien.
And they were like,
They should have
hey.
jumped onto that.
Yeah.
But the build up to actually seeing any aliens, we get about an hour and a half into this film.
It
I want to
works.
say, and I'm like, okay, well, we already know that there's aliens on this planet. Let's get to the aliens.
Yeah.
And there's just this long, okay, let's search the base. Let's go to the planet. Why did we put a base on this planet with these fucking things? But
Corporate greed.
Forget the plot hole. Where are the aliens?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, it takes them forever. And then suddenly there's a nest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, finally, aliens.
Well, yeah, no, I agree because I feel like the first one, like the slow build is necessary. It kind of it makes you like the small crew on this ship. You kind of appreciate all of
You get
them.
fleshed out characters
Yeah,
that you enjoy.
You really do like a good chunk of them. Maybe not Ash, fuck Ash, but you do start to you like Dallas. You get into Parker's character. You start to appreciate all of them little by little, and then you actually feel kind of bad when they die, and then you even get to like the cat. I was rooting for the cat. So
I thought at first the cat was gonna get xenomorphed. It was gonna have a little
Yeah.
xenomorph popping out of it.
That would be terrifying. That would be so the thing. But no, yeah. So the slow burn was nice. And I agree. The second one shouldn't have done that. It should have just jumped right into it. Because like you said, we already know what it is. So let's just jump into
Half
it.
of half of the characters in that were so expendable to me.
Yeah.
All the military men, and I'm like, we're just gonna kill these people, aren't we?
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, she saw an alien. It's like, oh, well, we know who's going to die first.
So Aliens is definitely following in that subgenre of slasher where, okay, we have a cast, let's just waste as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Let's rack up the body count.
Yeah. But I don't know. Because
But the first one, solid film. And I just realized that another thing that kept me from watching Alien was also I saw Prometheus, not knowing what it was, by the way.
yeah, no.
Not knowing what the fuck Prometheus was. And then there's a xenomorph at the end. It didn't really look like it either.
No, Prometheus was so bizarre because, like I said, you didn't even know it was an alien movie until the end.
In the Alien Covenant.
Yeah, and then you see the xenomorph eggs, and you're like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, you're like, what
this
the
is an alien movie? Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? It was weird, and it doesn't feel alien. It feels just like, okay. It was so forgettable. The only part of that movie that I actually remember is the very end when they're in the cave and they see all the eggs.
Yeah, that was it.
That is the only part of the movie that I actually remember is that scene, and that is it. Everything else is like a blank. I know what it is. I remember some of the faces, but that's it.
The best part about that movie existing is that it retcons AVP.
That's true.
I don't care. I don't care if you love them or hate them. I just don't like crossovers that much, and I'm probably never gonna.
Unless it's done right, but even then, it's like keep things in their own world. I feel like
Scooby-Doo can do a crossover any day.
well, Scooby Doo's also a cartoon, so it has that
Supernatural
freedom.
Scooby-Doo crossover. That was a good one. Did I show you that?
You showed me the episode because you were so excited about it.
Dude, I was hyped for that.
And I hadn't even seen any episodes of Supernatural at the time, so I had no idea. I was like, this is okay. But no, so the second one was just okay. It was good, but it wasn't great. But the first one, I mean, deserves all the awards, really.
I think a lot of things tried to follow suit with creature-based horror. You got Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
And I feel like Pumpkinhead looks a lot like Alien.
That's true. Yeah, it's got that shape. So I would say this was a pretty damn good film, because when I think of Alien, when I keep thinking back on it, I see Ripley, and then I see like all the beautiful cinematography in that film, and the lighting, and the shots, and the way that they set up certain scenes. That's what really sticks out to me.
I do like how the 70s and 80s thought space travel and like futuristic and time travel was gonna look. I thought that was cool, and it's definitely paved the way for a lot of movies.
Well, and that's kind of why one thing, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the new Star Wars movies, but things like Mandalorian, like you can really see that inspiration still in their design.
Well,
so it's so nice. It's like cool.
Going back to the old style for the Star Wars, they're going back to like the earlier concepts, which is really great. Because I was never a fan of the
new digital,
the whatever George Lucas had with CGI and his love affair with CGI and animation. I just didn't care for it. And Jar Jar Binks can go take a fucking knife and shove it up his ass. Because what even is that character?
I don't remember. I just remember the voice, and that is about it.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
No.
Annie.
No. But no. So I like the sci-fi look, and I like, because what's really cool is like everything's sci-fi now. It really tries to pull from that look now. The way that the late 70s and 80s really inspired the way that classic sci-fi should look was really, I feel like, really developed by a lot of those movies in that time.
So there's so much like science fiction that you can pull from the 80s too.
Oh, sure, yeah.
There's you got Back to the Future, Knight Rider, The Wraith. You got, oh man.
Well, and so many things inspired from it. Fallout.
I don't know if that's 80s. I think that is Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
2001. That's another great one. Even if it's not, it's in that era where it's the time and like just the style of it is gorgeous.
Well, and like I feel like things like I said, my Fallout wouldn't be what it is without the inspiration from those, without Mad Max, Blade Runner. It has Blade Runner references in it. It has like it has a few other references in it, but I feel like without
Boy and His Dog is referenced in
it. Boy and His Dog.
All the movies now that are referenced in that, there's a lot, and
it's like, I don't know, like it's without these movies, I feel like
Phantasm science fiction horror.
I agree. I think that's pretty science fiction-y, especially with the apocalypse setting.
The multiple worlds and the
parallel
spheres.
worlds. Yeah. Some good stuff. So, you like Alien.
Yeah, let's go watch part 3.
I got you hooked.
I gotta see when this movie wins the cutoff point for this.
How many bob heads would you give it? Severed bob heads.
That's a full set.
You think? A whole 5?
Yeah, it's
5 out of 5?
Yeah. The second one is like a 4. Like a 4 out of 5. And then I haven't decided. Prometheus is like a 2.5 for me.
Dude, Prometheus is like 1.5. It's like, it looked cool. But the only thing I can remember is the ending.
The cinematography and the ending is all I remember. It's just really pretty to look at.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Whereas if I were to like go and if I wanted to see something pretty, I'd watch Blade Runner, both of them, and I'd say that's a 5 out of 5. I know it's not even horror, but those are 5 out of 5s.
They're kind of horror. At least the first one kind of has like
there's elements.
It's not horror. It's not horror that we know, but it is thriller. I think
it's thriller mystery. It's suspense.
Yeah, it's got like that eerie, like something's wrong feeling to it for sure. I love Blade Runner. I can go off on Blade Runner, but
it drove me nuts that the other one did so bad.
The second one wasn't terrible, though. I think people just don't appreciate what it is.
So harsh on that movie.
Yeah, like the first one came out and it was great. And I think the second Blade Runner, people just, I don't know, maybe they just didn't know the first one to really appreciate and understand. Because I feel like the second one was justice deserved for it. Like the first one obviously will always be the best, but I appreciate the second one. I feel like that still had such a feeling of
I felt like it was a solid follow-up.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I feel like people who go into these movies not realizing that they're the sequel. Same thing happened with Dr. Sleep. Like, it didn't get any appreciation.
Yeah.
Like, the horror community loved it, but people who didn't know that it was a sequel to The Shining, it didn't get any love.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, well, it's not the same cast, and you're doing it so many years later. And I'm like, okay, well, the book also came out however many years later.
Yeah, it's true. My little sister messaged me. She's like, wait. Is Doctor Sleep a sequel to The Shining? I'm like, yes. Yes. Well, I'm glad she knew. She kind of figured it out and then messaged me, but it was pretty funny when when it clicked.
Yeah, so just, do your research if you're going to go into the movies. Don't just be that person that's like, oh, this movie sucks. Yeah. And not know anything about it. Like, you never know. You could find a gem. You might find something you enjoy about it.
Yeah. Especially, I don't know, there was something inspiring about 80s, especially 80s sci-fi movies.
Dude, Blob, there's another sci-fi movie.
There's something so, there's something you can't beat. Like, Alien had, that beautiful grain to it, through the camera, that camera grain.
Oh, that's because it's still very 70s.
Yeah, but the style, the look, it's something that you will never be able to get back completely because people don't use those cameras anymore, unless they want to. But it's more tricky.
Who's desperate, like Quentin Tarantino,
and wants to cut the film up, and so it's a little bit more tricky. But you'll never get that back because with those films too, you have to light everything just right, and you have to get the right feeling. Otherwise, things will be too dark or too bright. So you got to work with the film and do it just right.
Oh man, I was just thinking of another sci-fi movie from the 80s that's pretty bad.
What?
You're gonna hate me. E.T.
Oh, I hate E.T.
Yeah.
There's something weird about E.T. He looks like a scrotum with legs.
I'm telling you though, if it wasn't for E.T., and I'm sure there's a bunch of other movies too that make this series what it is.
Yes.
You would not have Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
You would not have Stranger Things if you didn't have things like E.T., Gremlins, the trio, the kids.
Yes.
Probably Stand By Me. I think that's an 80s movie, but it's set in the 50s.
I appreciate everything E.T. has done for film, but I will not watch that movie ever again.
No, I absolutely agree. I don't know what Spielberg was like. Scrotum.
It looks
scrotum with legs.
It looks like a scrotum with legs and a long ass neck, and then
the finger thing.
Yeah. And then all I remember especially when I was a kid and I watched it, it gave me this weird form of anxiety too. It's when they're all locked up in the quarantine tent and stuff. I don't know. It gave me this weird form of gotta get him out kind of feeling, and I hate that.
When he's sitting there among the stuffed animals.
Yes.
I'm like,
I don't know. It's just. I didn't get pleasant feelings from watching that movie.
It gave us quality memes, though. I will say that.
Does.
You know the meme where where he's laying in the river and he's gasping for air, and it's all and someone edits that meme, that picture, and it's the company. Oh, our employees are doing great. The employees.
That is actually one of my favorite memes. Every time I see it, I freaking laugh because it's so relatable.
Or the slaps the hand over the hole. Pizza party. If you're listening to me, corporate America, shove it.
Dude. Corporate America or corporate in general.
Just
and Alien was pretty bad.
It's the whole world.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, they were going to spend their low-level workers for the sake of military
crew is
great
expendable.
Experiments.
Yeah, they did not give a shit about their crew. So it's wow, even in 21, 22, they're fucking shitty people.
Yeah, let me work 9 to 5 plus hours on this ship and then get killed for you. Nice catch. By the way, how's the Christmas bonus?
Dude, they were on that shit for months, years probably.
What's the medical plan to this? Oh, there's none. All right, I'm down.
Wait, so my question is, where's the cargo going from and to? Does it say?
That I don't think they said it all, and I watched this movie twice.
Yeah, because I don't know if they tell you, like, where is the cargo ship coming from? Because obviously they're going to Earth.
It's coming from Earth, yeah. The ship's from Earth. Even 57 years later, they were still talking about how important it was not to blow up the cargo ship at the beginning of Aliens.
Which is so silly. I would have blown that ship up. I would have done exactly what she did. I've been like, fuck you, mother. I'm blowing this shit up. Get this alien out.
They find her 57 years later, and they're like, how could you? And I'm like, bruh, it's been 57 years.
Also, it's like, if it was you against a 7-foot alien, like, come on. With like a mini alien coming out of its mouth, like, fuck off. I would burn the place down too.
Kill it before it lays eggs.
Yes. But for real though. All right. So all around A+ on the Alien movie. One of my personal favorites that I really do enjoy. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad I got you into to branch out to more sci-fi horror specifically.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch all these Aliens and Terminators now.
Yes, we will.
So
and we'll talk more about that too. But we can talk more about like the other Alien sequels. But
yeah,
right now, I feel like 1 and 2 is the best to talk about because those ones are the most related, I feel like.
I think she's in 1 or 2 more movies. I'll have to check. But Sigourney Weaver keeps the continuity, kind of like Laurie Strode. Once she checks out of the building, like Halloween's not quite the same.
Dude, she is the Laurie Strode of sci-fi.
Yeah.
For sure. She's like the queen of sci-fi. In my personal opinion, I love her.
It's like you got Laurie Strode. I think you got Nancy in Elm Street. Friday the 13th, you don't really have anyone because they always cycle through the girls in Friday. They always kill them in the next one.
Yeah, but Jamie Lee Curtis is like the queen of slasher movies.
Yeah, she's in a lot of she's in Prom Night. She's in what's that one of the train? You know the one I'm talking about? She's on a train. Oh, there's another. She's in The Fog.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. That one. It's the murder mystery, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's she's in a sorority or something like that. There's she's on Scream Queens.
Yep.
She's in like almost every continuity of Halloween except for the Thorn trilogy, which by the way, I know you're gonna hate me for this, but it's a piece of shit. 4 was good, atmospheric, but that mask is trash. I do own that mask though. I love you so much.
You're silly. So, I don't know. What can I say her name?
Sigourney Weaver, because it's a big ass name and it's hard to pronunciate.
Usually I can say it, but tonight I can't. But I freaking love her, and I think she is the queen of sci-fi. Personally, with that, when she's in a sci-fi movie, it makes me like it that much more. Avatar was just okay, but because she was in it, I liked Avatar. It.
Right. Mm-hmm. She's in all the Ghostbuster movies thus far.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. I don't know if she's going to be in the new one that's coming out.
That's a good question.
I hope so. It's a shame that they didn't continue on with the female Ghostbusters because I actually enjoyed that. I thought it was pretty funny.
I liked the female Ghostbusters too.
It got a lot of hate.
I never watched it until you made me watch it.
Oh yeah. It was in theaters for like I want to say a month, and then it got kicked.
That's a shame.
And I'm like, well, it wasn't that bad. You guys are just not open to the idea.
So when I see stuff like that, I usually picture it as like this is like a parallel world.
Yeah, like an EU. Like
yeah,
an alternate reality.
It's not your precious canon is getting ruined. It's just another version of it. It's another world. I see that with like all the Batman movies that I like,
and how many different versions of Batman?
Yeah. So and pretty much any other movie that does stuff like that, I just see it. The best way to look at it is picture it as an alternate universe. It doesn't need to be canon. It doesn't need to break your illusion of what you think this certain story should be. Just picture it as like a fun, different version of this story. It doesn't have to be real. But I liked it. So I think we should wrap it up then. We go off topic, but ultimately we wrap it back up to Alien.
Well, I guess it's kind of an alien sci-fi podcast. I'll keep when we do the part 2 to this. I'll keep it more to the aliens.
Well, it's so easy.
I'll have more to know about the entire franchise.
I'll get them to watch the whole kit and caboodle.
I might just for you guys even watch AVP, and I guess there's a sequel to AVP. There's a Requiem.
Honestly though, you do see more alien in it. So I mean, if you want more alien, you do get that.
So it's kind of like that in Freddy vs. Jason, but it feels like it's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
I don't like that one. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know, the screamo music in that movie. I'm like, it's kind of cheesy.
It's definitely of the era.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's it for tonight, guys.
Yeah, let us know if you liked the Alien movie, if you like the series in general, what your favorite part about it is, because
remember to drop some info on the next movie you want to see us talk about, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know what your favorite part of Alien is. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.